If you know that you will be on vacation for a few days or leaving the office early, you should record a greeting to let callers know this. That way, callers will know not to expect a call back for a few hours or a few days. Use the attendant feature. This feature also allows the caller to reach another person in your department from your voicemail. For example, if you were out of the office on a Friday and a caller needed an answer immediately, the caller could dial 0 while listening to your voicemail message and be transferred to someone else in your department. You have to select an attendant yourself. It is not done automatically. Notify the telecommunications services with the extension to which your calls should be transferred for this facility to be set up. Try to select someone who would know your schedule and be able to take messages for you, such as a coordinator, receptionist, or assistant. Checking messages and returning calls. Check your messages daily and return messages within 24 hours. If it takes longer than 24 hours, call the person and apologize for the delay. Callers will take comfort in the fact that you are checking your voicemail daily. Reply, forward, or delete messages immediately. Keep your mailbox clean. If you forward a message, be sure to explain the reason for doing so. Leaving voicemail messages. Speak clearly and slowly. Be sure to leave your name and extension number. It's best to repeat it at the beginning and end of your message. Always mention the date and time at which you called in and let the person know the best time to call you back. Keep messages short and to the point. Cover only one topic in one message. Specify what you want the recipient to do. Remember that you want to leave the person you are calling with a pleasant impression of you. Ending conversations. Ending the call gives you one final opportunity to make a good impression on the customer. Therefore, although you thank the customer while commencing the conversation, thank them again while concluding the exchange. Ask them if they require any further assistance. This makes the customer feel appreciated. Even if the conversation has been exceptionally long, leave it open and promise to conclude your discussion at another time. Tell the person how much you have enjoyed the exchange. Before hanging up, be sure that you have answered all the caller's questions. Always end a call with a pleasantry such as "Have a nice day" or "It was nice speaking with you." And finally, wait for the customer to release the call before hanging up. This prevents you from accidentally hanging up on the customer. Handling rude or impatient callers. Stay calm. Try to remain diplomatic and maintain a polite demeanor. Getting agitated will only make the situation worse and your customer angrier. Always show a willingness to resolve the problem or conflict. Try to consider the caller's perspective. Remember, their problems and concerns are important, at least to them. If you are in a non-supervisory position, offer to connect the caller to your supervisor in case you are unable to resolve the problem. If you are a supervisor, be willing to handle irate callers. Speak slowly and calmly. Be firm with your answers, but maintain compassion. Sometimes the irate caller just wants someone in a supervisory capacity to listen to their version if a junior is unable to help them. Common telephonic courtesy. Although you cannot see the person at the other end of the line in a normal telephonic conversation, you should maintain the same courtesy that you display in a face-to-face conversation. Phone calls generally should not be made before 7 a.m. or after 9:30 p.m. at night. Try to avoid contacting people during their lunch breaks. A person should always be certain of the number he is dialing to avoid disturbing someone unnecessarily. If you do reach a wrong number, always apologize before hanging up. When you speak on the telephone, remember to express yourself clearly and concisely. Your voice quality is equally important. The telephone carries your voice at its natural volume and pitch. Try not to shout. Make sure that your conversations with senior executives are as brief as possible. Make business calls well before the closing hours. While calling colleagues or friends within the organization, identify yourself immediately. Don't assume that the recipient of your call will recognize your voice. It will also help you avoid an embarrassing situation. When the number you are calling is not answered quickly, call back a little later. Things you should never say to a client. They say the spoken word constitutes just 10% of communication, while nonverbal cues like body language and voice modulation takes precedence. But the spoken word too is critically important. The wrong word choices can kill $1 million deal. Here are 8 verbal slip-ups you should try to curtail consciously. Mispronounce a client's name. Nothing frustrates people more than hearing their name pronounced incorrectly or called by another one altogether. This is perceived as a clear indication that you don't care. Do your research in advance and know all the names and pronunciations of the people you will be working with. When you meet someone new, write down his or her name along with the phonetic spelling in your notebook, or just simply ask the person how his or her name is pronounced at the very beginning to save you the embarrassment. Mangle a client's company name. Just like our own names, the name of a company is extremely important. Know how to spell and pronounce the company name of all your clients, paying close attention to spelling and capitalization, especially the intercaps. Quote a price or turnaround range. When you are discussing prices or deadlines, you and the customer will both hear what they or you deem most favorable in the range you've cited. When it comes to prices, if you say between $500 and $700, the customer will hear the low number and you will hear the high number. This sets you both up for disappointment. Same is true for time ranges. Quote exact numbers, not ranges. Make observational statements based on assumption. Never make assumptions about anyone's physical state or relationship. It can land you in a messy situation. Besides, when at work, such personal information is never a part of professional discussions. We really need this project. This phrase signals desperation and indicates that your business is unstable. While you may think that you are indicating to the customer that you will do everything within your means to cater to him, you have unknowingly set off alarm bells.